Hi guys, it's April, and today I'm here to do the Epic Reads book tag. And yes, I still sound a little nasally. I'm recovering, but I'm not 100% yet. But we're just gonna roll with it, okay? Okay. The Epic Reads book tag was created, of course, by Epic Reads for anybody to do, and I wasn't tagged, but I'm gonna do it anyways. And then I'm gonna tag some people, and it's gonna be fun. Question 1. If you could invite one author and one of the fictional characters to tea, who would you invite and what would you serve them? For me, it would be Robin McKinley and Sunshine from her book Sunshine. I know, Sunshine. Who would have thought? Character from Sunshine named Sunshine. But the main reason I would choose those two imaginary and non-imaginary people is because Robin McKinley has such a way with words, and I can only imagine what her brain is like, and I just want to pick it apart and see what's inside, and the stories that I'm sure are still hiding in there that are just waiting to come out. And Sunshine, because she's from the first Robin McKinley book that I ever read, and she's a baker, and I'd want her to teach me recipes because baking is fun. And I would serve them macaroons and green tea. Why? Because it sounds good and it would help my nose. So yeah. Question number 2. What book would you wish the author would write a prequel for? I'm actually going to go back to Sunshine because this world is so amazing, and while you do get a good depth of what is here in this book, I would love to see that expanded out and how it, yeah, just how, tell me! Please? Question number 3. Which two characters not from the same book do you think would make a good couple? Okay, I had to think about this for a while because it's kind of really hard to put like two random characters from different universes together, but I think I got one. Okay, so the first character would be Luna Lovegood from the Harry Potter series, and then Finbar from the Daughter of the Forest and the Seven Waters series. Why? Because they are both so otherworldly, and I can just imagine the kind of conversations the two of them would get into. I think it would be amazing. I'd want to be a fly on the wall when the two of them meet, because those conversations could probably get really deep without you even noticing. So you'd have to pay attention. It'd be good. Question number 4. If you ran into your favorite author on the subway and only could say one sentence to them, what would it be and who would it be to? I had to think about this question for a while because I only have like a ton of favorite authors, all of which I would love to meet someday and harass and get them to sign like 20 bajillion books. But after thinking on this, I came down to one that I think would be great to actually see face to face if I only had to choose one. And that would be Brooke Shaden. And I know she's not a traditional author in the sense that she writes books and that's all she does. She's actually a surreal photographer, but she writes some of the most I guess inspiring is inspirational. She writes some of the most inspirational works that just feed your imagination and make you want to create and just keep on going and not let anybody ever tell you no. And her artwork is, look at that artwork. I saw her artwork for the first time like maybe a year and a half ago, and it's like embedded in my brain and in my soul now. So to meet her on a subway, I'd probably just walk right up and freeze. That's pretty much what would happen, because that's what I do. But But if I could actually get words out, besides thank you, we're gonna go a little deeper than that, it would be just that she has inspired my imagination in a way I have never thought possible, so that I can show people that and creep them out. Thank you. That's what I would tell her. That was more than one sentence, but I would still tell her that. And then I would invite her to lunch. Yep. Question number 5. What book made you a reader and why? I've actually answered this question. I didn't ask this question. I actually answered this question before. It wasn't a book that made me a reader. It was actually my parents bribing me with money per pages that started this whole process of me just devouring books. But if I had to pick one book that has stuck with me, or a series of books that have stuck with me from my childhood that just kind of helped escalate that, it would be the Pony Pal series. I used to be obsessed with horses. I loved to ride horses, I loved to collect horses, I loved to read about horses until I realized I was allergic to horses. But then I still loved them. Question number 6. Incendio! Your bookshelf has caught on fire. Show us the one book that you would save. This is kind of a mean question, because if my bookshelf caught on fire, my whole house would be on fire, because that's just asking for the fire to take over, because there is 1,000 books behind me. But if I had to pick one book, I would not be devastated to lose most of this library. And that sounds weird, being a bookworm that I am, but I realize that most of these books are replaceable. The one book that I would want to save would actually be this. This is an old college handbook. And that seems weird, but I actually picked this up from my grandmother because my grandpa was the original owner of this book. So it's got his handwriting inside. And I've never met him before because he unfortunately passed away when my mother was still young. So this is one of the ways that I feel attached to him. But there's something a little more special inside of this book that as soon as I saw it, I had to ask my grandma if I could have it. Because inside, on one of these pages, I don't know if you can see that or not, is a hand-drawn profile of my grandpa that was done by one of his best friends at the time, who later became an artist. I can't recall his name, but I'm sure if I asked my grandma, she would know. But this just has such sentimental value for me that I would just be devastated to lose this. And I believe the original publication date of this book is 1941. So it's old, it's turning page colors, and it's not really that classy to look at, but it's what's inside this book that makes it so I would cry. So don't set my bookshelf on fire. Question number 7. Which dystopian world would you want to live in if you had to choose one, and why? Once again, what are with these questions that make absolutely no sense? Who would choose a dystopian world to live in? But if I had to choose, I would probably choose the world from Ready Player One. No surprise there. Mostly because the Oasis exists in this world, and at least that would be an outlet for forgetting about where you are, and you can be anyone and do anything, and physics may not apply, magic could exist, and things would not seem so dystopic, which is probably why mankind would fall to pieces at that point, because it wouldn't care about the real world. Oh well. Question number 8. What is your most epic read of all time? I don't like this question, mainly because of the all time part, because all time has not, we haven't reached all time, and all books have not been written yet. So it's hard to pick the most epic of all times. And plus, I like too many books, and too many are, you know, epic. But if we want to go epic for the traditional epic sense, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say the answer that is gonna make me sound smarticle, and that would be the Iliad and the Odyssey. I had to read this for one of my mythology classes, and once you actually dive into those books, that is an epic adventure. And so I'm gonna go with that answer. And seem like such a cop-out. But yeah, you should read it and try to keep up with it. You have to get a little deep, I guess, but it's good. So now is time for tagging other people. And if you've already done this, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna tag you now anyways, and that would be Kayla Rain, Alyssa from Reading Reflections, and Mackenzie. Do it at your leisure. If you've already done it, show it to me. I don't know. But if there's any of you other guys who want to do this tag, do it. Tell me down below. And now for the book shimmy. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Shimmy, shimmy. No, that was cheesy. I'm not good at a book shimmy. I heart your beautiful faces. Bye! You are going to have to look at Mrs. Butt the whole time I am giving this. She's got no shame. Put my cold hands all over you. Fish the off-road. Let me itch myself. Is that attractive? Do you like that? I like it. Remember, a card's big enough, it shouldn't stop. It should just keep going. Just keep going. Okay.